Please. You started what? Am I live? Hello, my friends. I think I am live. This is PWIP. चलो हम एक्सपोर्ट्स और चावल बिजनेस के बारे में बात करेंगे. I'm waiting for a few more of them to join. I'm quickly introducing myself. I'm Dhanraj from PWIP. At PWIP, we help people learn exports. We help people get into rice business. We help people become a rice exporter. And for this, all that you need to do, आपको जो भी ये बिजनेस के लिए चाहिए रहेगा, जैसे समझो आप if you are wanting to learn different types of rice, if you want to learn different प्राइस पॉइंट ऑफ राइस की क्या चावल का क्या भाव है आज के दिन पे, क्योंकि चावल का जो भाव है वो कंटिन्यूस चेंज होता रहता है, राइट. इफ यू वांट, आपको अगर मिलर से कनेक्ट करना है, आपको मिल कहाँ कहाँ है ये जानना है, कितने वैरायटी के चावल होते हैं. लॉट ऑफ पीपल थिंक दैट चावल एक ही है, या बासमती मतलब बासमती. बासमती में भी 15 तरह तरह की वैरायटीज हैं. यू आर एटलीस्ट 15 वैरायटीज ऑफ बासमती जो ट्रेडेड है, जो नॉर्मली ट्रेड किया जाता है, जैसे 1121, 1121, 1509, 1509 बासमती, सुगंधा, पूसा, सेल्ला, क्रीमी सेल्ला, व्हाइट सेल्ला, गोल्डन सेल्ला, स्टीम, रॉ. ये all this will come in handy. The more you learn, the more stronger you become in your rice business or your rice export business. As I see a lot of people who have joined here, my friends, if you have any questions related to rice exports, don't hesitate to ask me right away in the comment section here. As I get questions here, more questions here, we had posted on our Instagram that we are coming live. अगर आपका कोई questions है तो पूछो. So there were a lot of questions which already came to us, which I'm going to start answering. We have kept this question and answer mostly around exports, how to do exports, how to become an exporter, how to start from zero, how to, I mean, not know anything but kind of start to learn something about exports. As I speak, Pratik, okay, आपका क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी आया है. व्हाट इज द स्कोप ऑफ एचएमटी राइस एक्सपोर्ट एंड फॉर डोमेस्टिक सेलिंग? First of all, I would, when if I have to answer a question like this, I would have to tell the users as to what this HMT rice is. कुछ जगह पे this rice is HMT rice is also confused with RNR rice. Sometimes it is confused with column rice. Sometimes it is confused with सोनम राइस. तो बहुत सारे चावल बहुत सारे रीजन से बहुत अलग अलग नाम से जाने जाते हैं. कोलम फॉर एग्जांपल, खुद कोलम में लश्करी कोलम, श्रुति कोलम, वड़ा कोलम, ये सारे नाम सुनने को हमको मिलता है. सो टुडे माय फ्रेंड्स, my main motive is to talk about exports. So let's take Pratik's question to start with, HMT राइस के बारे में. सो बेसिकली चावल एक्सपोर्ट में, राइस एक्सपोर्ट में ऐसा हुआ है कि लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल लास्ट ईयर इंडिया एक्सपोर्टेड 80,000 crores वर्थ ऑफ राइस. ये जो 80,000 crore जो चावल है, अमाउंट है, उसमें लगभग say about 40,000 crores is basmati and 40,000 crore is non-basmati. Now, in this 40,000 crore of non-basmati, about 15,000 crores worth of rice goes to West Africa region itself every year. Another 15,000 goes to Middle East countries. and बचा हुआ $10,000, 10,000 crores worth of rice exports happens to Southeast Asia, US, Europe, etc. इसमें non basmati में the major variety of rice that is exported is white rice and parboiled rice. तो ये जो varieties HMT, कोलम, सोना मसूरी, गोविंद भोग, मट्टा rice, all these form a very small portion of exports. Also, out of the $40,000, the small portion which is this HMT, Sonam, Kolam, etc., these are very high priced, good quality grains, which means these kind of quality goes to say Middle East countries, where people can pay are okay and they want this kind of a higher value grain. But then the price of this cannot be even more than a particular price range. Also for the reason that अगर कुछ हद से ऊपर प्राइस चला जाता है, सो देन इट स्टार्ट्स टू कॉम्पीट विद बासमती राइस. तो लोग ऐसा सोचते हैं कि मैं बासमती ही खरीद लूंगा. So these are the things to keep in mind, my friends. So HMT raw rice has a good demand in Middle East countries. Kolam rice has good demand in Middle East countries. Kolam recently, from the last 1 year, has got good demand in Singapore. Singapore used to sell Sona Masuri rice as Ponni rice there. Now people have slowly upgraded to Kolam steam rice in Singapore, and the quality that Singapore wants, the Kolam, is typically a variety that is milled in Miryalgooda region of Telangana. The Kolam steam. These are the kind of varieties that Singapore prefers. So a lot of people asked me, how to join PWIP. जो हमारा जो प्लेटफॉर्म है, हमारे साथ लगभग 7,000 लोग जुड़ चुके हैं यूट्यूब के जरिए, लगभग 10,000 लोग जुड़ चुके हैं इंस्टाग्राम के जरिए, and then we have a lot of traders, exporters, and a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs have become exporters with us. We give a lot of rice export orders to partners who do trade with us. There are a lot of users who are connected to us. About 20,000 plus users are connected to us on WhatsApp. तो there is nothing like कि आप हमारे साथ जुड़ कैसे सकते हैं, because this was one of the questions that was asked. हमारे साथ जुड़ना बहुत इजी है. या हमको YouTube, Instagram, Facebook में फॉलो करो, या हमको WhatsApp मैसेज करो, हम आपको कॉल करके आपसे बात करेंगे, या आप मैसेज कर सकते हो हमारे WhatsApp में 8317749274. तो ये जो in the comment section I'm going to put our WhatsApp number, which is 8317749274. I just put the WhatsApp number. आप हमको WhatsApp करो if you want to become an exporter, if you want export orders. If you are not even having a company ready with you, don't worry about it. Just call us. We can help you register your company, and we can help you get your first order, and everything will be handheld by us. We will give you the order. We will give you payment assurity. We will give you assured buyer. We will handle end to end of your export business. Documentation we will do for you. Everything we will do it for you, and we will deliver margins to you. That is been our biggest strength right now at PWIP, my friends. Let me move on very quickly to other questions that has come. So Pushkar Kumar is asking, please tell us about basmati whiteness. First of all, my friends, whiteness by itself is a very good topic to talk about. We have been trying to address this requirement, this issue a lot of times. A lot of people don't know that it is good to test the whiteness of rice. So for example, if you are an exporter exporting white rice, raw rice, how will you know how much white is white and how much yellow is yellow? Because normally क्या होता है, when जैसे for example third party inspection companies, surveying companies, SGS, GeoChem का जो field staff होते हैं, when they go to the rice mill to check the quality of the rice, they normally check for moisture, broken percentage, chalky, discolored grain, damaged grain, any dead or live weevils, any foreign materials, etc. etc. But one thing testing becomes very important, the whiteness of rice. How can you test the correct whiteness of rice with your naked eyes? Because sometimes the lighting inside the mill might be very poor. Sometimes it might be raining outside or cloudy outside and the light might be poor. Sometimes the person who is having might not be able to do a correct judgment. But your customer, some customer wants white rice which is having a good whiteness. If it is yellow, they say yellow, bro. The cargo is very yellow. The rice is very yellow. Not good quality, bad quality. These kind of complaints come because in white rice there is a concept of fresh milling. Rice to rice. So these normally rice tend to turn its color or tend to become a little bit dull or tend to become a little bit yellow, right? So normally if you have to test the whiteness, you have to take the samples from the mill, send it to the lab. The lab, all this will take the courier time, the testing time, the results to come. All this will waste about 7 to 8 days easily for you. By the time the rice which was there in the mill is already sold by the miller to somebody else, your customer is already unhappy that kitna time lagaoge bhai. And the lab which is testing your whiteness for you also will charge you a very big bomb, minimum 5,000 to 6,000 rupees to test whiteness. So go look for it. There is something called as a whiteness meter. It is a very small pocket friendly whiteness meter. So normally customers, buyers who are in Singapore, Malaysia, Vietnam, these countries, Philippines, these countries, they like the rice to have good whiteness. In minimum 39 to 40 at least has to be there, the whiteness of rice. African countries, a few countries, for them, if the whiteness is 37 to 38, also it works. But how will you test this whiteness? So there is a PWIP whiteness meter. You can go on our website, you can connect with us and find out more about this. Right? So Basmati, again, what happens is if your order is for white cella, creamy cella, golden cella, how will you make out the color difference? So we have defined the color, whiteness of these rice as well. The white cella can be somewhere between 26 to 27. The creamy cella can be somewhere between 24 to 25. The golden cella can be somewhere between 23 to 24. So this is how you can make out the whiteness. So basically, even if your team, your third party inspection company is going to the mills to check quality, you can call for samples and you can keep doing your assessment through a whiteness meter, right? So Pratik is again saying in our area HMT and RNR are different. Where can I verify the rice as HMT? So basically RNR mostly is found in Karnataka and Andhra regions. HMT is mostly found in Gondia, Nagpur and Maharashtra regions. RNR and HMT, yes, it is very difficult to find out the grain type of grain, but RNR is a very thin grain. Looks very similar to column. Aditya Agarwal is asking what is payment cycle, and Kishore is asking how much capital is needed for rice export business. So see, the capital needed for the rice export business is based. If you're doing an order, you can always do your orders which is just one container also. And if it is one container, for example, Sona Masuri, it might cost you around 7 to 8 lakh rupees, right? I'm quickly taking my calculator, assuming that your Sona Masuri price is 30 rupees a kg, which is 30,000 rupees a ton. Into there will be 25 tons, for example, in the container. That's about 7 lakh 50,000 rupees. If you're doing a Swarna rice, for example, which is 23,000 rupees a kg, for example, into 25 tons is 5 lakh 75,000 for a container. But the orders that we work on at the moment, we do orders minimum 10 containers in a particular invoice or in a BL. So if it is 5 lakh 75, then it is into 10, which means you need at least 57 lakhs rupees of capital to buy rice. And then you need another 2-3 lakhs or so for your CHA services, for freight forwarding, etc. Right? All in all, you might need about 60 lakh rupees to make. So if it is 5 containers, you would need about 30 lakh rupees. If it's one container, you need anywhere between 6 to 8 lakh rupees. So this is how it is. But at the moment, at PWIP, we are doing only 10 container lot sizes, and the payment cycle is roughly about 20 to 40 days. 20 days for shipments going to say Singapore and or say Malaysia, where the ports are very closer, to 30 to 40 days where ports are a little bit far away from India. Like for example, if you buy rice today from the mill, for the rice to come to Chennai CFS or Chennai port, for all the 10 containers to come together, empty containers to be called there, all the loading, stuffing, fumigation, custom clearance, documentation, etc., and finally to go and sit on the vessel, it might take you anywhere between 7 to 10 days in Chennai, for example. And 10 days you have loaded onto the vessel will give you the BL next day, and you will send the BL scan copy to the customer. The vessel will take 7 days to reach Singapore. So within the next 7 days, customer will make the payment to you. Why? Because he knows that the vessel is going to come and I have to clear the containers. I can only clear the containers if I have a clearance from the shipping line and the exporter. You can get shipping line and you can get the clearance from the exporter only if you make the payment to the exporter, because almost most of the payments are all on documents. For a lot of people for whom exports is the first time, you have not done any export before, you should understand one good part about export is that the buyer will never be able to clear the cargo in his port unless you have told the shipping line to surrender the cargo, to surrender the BL. Without that, he cannot take the cargo. Or you can courier the original BL document to the buyer. He can take that original document to and go to the agent and to the port, and he can get it cleared. But you should not give the original BL, because you should first and scan copy to the customer, ask for the payment, so the customer will transfer the payment to your bank account. Once you receive your payment, only then you have to send your documents to your customer. So that is the process. So which means your payment, you receive it first on BL, and after you receive the payment, then you courier over or scan copy of the BL, you send it to the buyer. Which means this BL is a very good instrument to ask for payment. सो कितना अच्छा है ना, क्योंकि अगर डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में अगर आप किसी बिजनेस को या किसी कंपनी को या किसी को सप्लाई करोगे, यू विल हैव टू सप्लाई ऑन क्रेडिट बेसिस, फिर 30 डेज 45 डेज 60 डेज 90 डेज का क्रेडिट रहता है, उसमें फिर आपको बार बार पीछे लगना पड़ता है आपकी पेमेंट के लिए. सो एक्सपोर्ट में इट इज वेरी क्लियर. You put your capital to buy the rice and everything, put it into containers, load it onto the ship, get your BL document, send a scan copy scan copy of BL to your buyer. Buyer will make the payment to you immediately, and then you, after getting the payment, then you release the cargo to the buyer. So which means until you get your payment, the cargo is still in your control, even if the cargo has reached America. Right. So I'm going to take a few more questions which has come before to us on Instagram. So there is a question, there's a question related to payment assurity, there's a question related to what all documents go into this rice exports. There's a lot of things that has come, and I'm going to answer one of them one by one. Right. If you buy rice, will you get CD? What is the net profit after bank in the order? How do we start distributor for rice brand? After vessel load, do we get payment on BL? So these are the few questions that we have it has come. How do you start distribution of your own brand of rice? There's a few questions like this which has come. So let me take these questions one at a time. So first one is, when you buy rice, is there a will you get 4% CD? CD is nothing but cash discount. It happens in few regions where when you are buying rice, the terms and conditions of the payment, I mean the payment terms will be that if you pay me within the 7 days, you can get a cash discount of 1%, 2%, or 10%, right? So what happens is you have to check this. But if you're new to the buyer, what will happen was, or to the miller will not allow you to even take your cargo without making payment to him, because you don't know him, right? So in a lot of cases you'll have to make upfront payment. Can we export under our brand name? Yes, if the buyer agrees. If the buyer agrees, you can definitely export in your brand name, right? But your buyer has to agree. But in the most cases in rice exports, the buyer will send you his artwork. You have to print those bags in his artwork and then export. And it is very easily you can print it. Sometimes it is a PP bag, sometimes it is BOPP bag, sometimes it is polyethylene plastic bags, sometimes it is jute bags, sometimes it is 1 kg, 5 kg, 10 kg, 18 kg, 30 kg, 25 kg, 50 kg. A lot of packaging sizes are there, and all kinds of packaging is possible. For more information, go to our YouTube channel. We have recently just put videos on packaging and all types of packaging, right? So it is very interesting to do this business, my friends. You can do this export business even while working. You can do this export business. You don't need much intervention. If you are actually working with us on shipments, you could be doing the spice export business but wanting to add rice export to it. A lot of things that you can do with your business, right? So a few more questions are something like distribute how to start distribution for your own brand, which is India. In India, again, as you know, in wholesale markets there are distributors. You have to supply to them, which they will then supply to kirana shops, hotels, restaurants, etc. लेकिन ये वाले बिजनेस में शायद क्रेडिट पीरियड बहुत हो सकता है. कस्टमर्स माइट आस्क क्रेडिट. If a lot of customers ask credit and आप किस सबको supply करते जा रहे हो, then you will need a lot of working capital and you have to also secure your payment. So domestic business में ये थोड़ा is a disadvantage compared to a export market, right? So what is the net profit and what payment BL पे मिलेगा ना is the question that has come. Yes, in our concept that we're talking about, in majority of the rice export concept, this is what you should be focusing on. You should get payment on BL. Once you get the payment, that payment इधर 4-5 दिन डिले हो सकता है, बट पेमेंट मिलेगा, उसके बाद ही आप BL surrender करोगे. So this is one thing that you have to keep in mind, right? So that is one great thing that you have to keep in mind. It's very it's a very big advantage. Coming to the last question that I have is, what is the net profit? So what we do is, in a product like non-basmati, majorly the margins is roughly around $5 per ton, $6 per ton, or whatever capital you invest, you will get roughly around 1.5 to 2% return on investment in a period of, say for example, 30 days, which means in a year you are getting like 18 to 22% return on investment on your capital in a span of 1 year. If it's 1 month, you get anywhere between 1.5 to 1.8% per month as your return on ROI, the return on investment, which is a good. If you have to keep capital in FD or any other low finance product, you can put it into rice exports and build a business out of it and still earn 18% to 22% per annum on this, right? So when you say for $5 to $6, I will make a quick calculation on my phone for you, which is $6 per ton into, in a container, say assume that there are 26 tons, so you get $156 in a container. Into 10 containers is what you're going to do, so you're going to get $1,560 into, say today's dollar is about 82 rupees, so you will make 1,27,920 rupees for the 10 container export that you are doing, right? So this is in the this is in multiple. So you could probably do 20 containers, 30 containers, or you could just stick to 10 containers. So, I have a few. How much time it take for payment? I have called your team. Told me that you'll get payment on scan copy of bill. Go on those vessels, but we will pay payment when the importer will get arrival notice. So I have Bharat Kataria saying that I was told that I'll get payment on scan copy of BL, but when the vessels but the buyer is saying that we'll get the payment on arrival notice. Yes, it's a very interesting question that I want to touch upon right now. See what happens if you're exporting to, for example, Vietnam. When you export to when you're exporting to Vietnam, there is one thing which is different from exporting to Singapore. When you export to Singapore, say for example from Chennai, the vessel goes directly from Chennai to Singapore. But if you are exporting to Vietnam, the vessel first goes to Port Klang in Malaysia and then waits for the next vessel and then goes to Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. So a lot of times, sometimes what happens is the containers take us some more time. Might be 3 to 4 days or 4 to 5 days sometimes in Port Klang for the changeover into other feeder vessels. So buyers are what happens, they normally place a lot of orders, but they see that the cargo is not coming as fast as they thought it would, right? So they go on making payment, then their payment also is going to get stuck. They also have to do a working capital management, right? So normally what do customers do, if the vessel has left today and in the next 6 to 7 days it is going to reach Singapore, the customers are going to do what? The customers are, okay, 7 days it is reaching me, they know that they're going to immediately make the payment. But when you are actually exporting to, for example, Vietnam, if the transit days is 13 days and the BL has come today, so the buyer is going to be little tricky. He will say, okay, the cargo to reach, it is going to take 13 days. Today, just the BL came. Okay, let me make payment after 4 to 5 days or just 3 or 4 days before vessel arrival. So these kind of things, customers do manipulate and manage their working capital. What if you are exporting to, say, some West African port? The transit time is 40 days. You have given the BL today to the customer, but for the customer, it will take 40 days for the vessel to reach. So if you are in the customer shoes also, you would try to manage this. So the customer sometimes say that, okay, आज मैंने पेमेंट भी किया तो मुझे कल वेसल तो नहीं आ रहा है, वेसल तो आएगा 40 दिन के बाद, तो मैं आज पेमेंट क्यों करूं? मैं एक काम करता हूं, एक 20 दिन रहेगा जब कार्गो आने के लिए, या 10 दिन जब रहेगा, या 5 दिन जब रहेंगे वेसल आने के लिए, देन दैट इज व्हेन आई विल मेक द पेमेंट. So this is one such thing. It is all a relationship. So we have, this is a challenge that we also face. We are also working with our customers so that they can make payment faster on presenting the BL copy, so that our exporter also can get faster payments, so that they can, with that funds, they can again invest and make another shipment, right? So this is how it is. It's business after all, my friends. Right? It's business for you. It's business for an importer. It's business for a CHA. It's business for freight forwarders. It is business for us. It's business for all of us. Right? Let's all be very, very positive. We will make rice export one of the next big thing happening at PWIP, and for all of us who are actually connected to us, the PWIP family that we have built, we are very, very inspired by our own users, the way in which they take decisions, the way how they manage their trade, how they manage their finances, and have grown. We have exporters who have started with just 5 containers orders with us, and today they have almost shipped about 200 containers with us to various ports like Pasir Gudang, Singapore, Ho Chi Minh, Haiphong, Tawau, Sandakan, and a lot of other ports, my friends. With this, I'm going to end this live session right now. I'm looking forward to coming back, soon. We also come live on few other platforms as well, and we come out with a lot of information related to exports and knowledge on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. So stay connected with us, my friends, and let's make rice export a very big opportunity and a business for all of us. Thank you.